bit here last year, and just figuring out how to close games was a struggle. Why do you think things have been so smooth and you guys have been so successful in this situation this year?
What do you mean? That's a two-parter? What you asking?
Just clutch
in the
time,
game or just
closing out games. What situations you guys statistically, offensively, I think like 2 or 3 in the league, defensively top 5. Why do you think you guys have it's clicked?
Yeah, a lot of trust, and then I think just giving each other confidence and getting out of the mentality it's your turn, my turn. You see it too often in our league where it's kind of like the fallback idea. As a great player, just let me go get my buckets. Let me go get, and then it's kind of imbalanced as a team. So we just started looking at some of our weaknesses. I started looking at some of my weaknesses and where I can improve on the defensive end, where just trying to get out of a lot of those low percentage plays and just trusting that we can make shots in those tough moments. So just getting off the ball when needed and then thinking the game down the stretch using our IQ.
You mentioned your turn, my turn. It seemed like last year, I remember the situation in Minnesota when it's like you guys are deferring too much to each other.
Yeah.
How do you kind of decide, like how it's going to flow? Like, how do you figure out, hey, you're going to initiate, I'm going to initiate? How do those things go?
There's a lot of nonverbal communication where we've been able to stack on quality days in practice. It started in training camp, really, and we put ourselves in a few positions, in pickup or in just up and down scrimmaging, where it forced us to really think the game at a high level and go against different types of defenses. So I think that helped out a lot, where we built that continuity and we had reps, and we just want to kind of throw out the comparison to last year, even though that's all we have. But we just have to continue to put one game in front of the other.
What is, when you say my turn, your turn, like what kind of indicates it's that versus you guys actually flowing off of each other?
Yeah, so when I mean your turn, my turn type of basketball is just more stagnant one-on-one possessions where it's just empty, and defenses are designed to stop you, and they're sending doubles, but we're not trusting each other enough to take those possessions off, where as an initiator, I've done my job. I've taken 2 on the ball. They're doubling me. Let me get it out. Or I've attacked the paint. I've touched the paint. Let me get somebody else a shot. So now we're just thinking about 2 plays ahead, 3 plays ahead, and managing those 3 minutes into the game where we know we can still keep the pace up. And when we're not keeping that pace up, we look different. When we're not getting it out, getting stops, and teams are just continuing to hammer home. Sometimes as a great player or as a player in general, you want to get it back right away. That's what I mean, your turn, my turn. You come down, I jack up a shot, empty possession. Come down, they score, I want to get another shot, let me initiate it. So we've been able to get past some of those stages and continue to grow.
Well, why is pace so important? And like, it's one thing to say we want to play faster.
Yeah.
How are you playing faster? What's kind of the, what's the steps to play faster?
Yeah, well, I mean, you look at the art of basketball, I know you can appreciate this. It's a cardiovascular activity, it's physical combat. So the more that you can run at your opponent and tire them out in slow spurts or in big spurts or fast spurts, I feel like you can be very successful. A lot of teams are scoring a lot of points, but when you bring that physicality and you force them to do other things, then it helps out you and on both ends of the floor. So I think that's been an important echo or sentiment that we have in our locker room. It's a point that we make every single day. Like, when our pace is great on both ends of the floor, we're a different looking team. But when it's not, and teams force us to be on a perimeter based, and we're not attacking the rim, and we're not doing the little things on defensive end like communicating, then it could be a tough night. So we want to have more great nights than tough nights.
I had one question about a specific event in the game, on the moment where Dylan fouls out guarding you. He did get you on the arm. What happened right after that?
I probably went viral in terms of...
You did a little bit. But honestly, in a legitimately good way, there are people saying, and I kind of agree, like one of the more impressive flops we've ever seen.
I hope I don't get fined, man. But, just...
They did uphold it, so I don't know how that works.
They had to uphold it, but I got hit after the play. You see, it's a phantom. It's a phantom arm somewhere. Go find it. It's a phantom. Yeah.
But like is that fully a reaction of I know it's split second, but like you feel him value, and so absolutely. It's just like
after the play type of shenanigans.
Like small enough contact that the ref's never going to call it without some sort of
But when somebody grabs you naturally, it's
Right.
kind of like you're pulling away. So I just
Right,
fell
right,
down
right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was impressive. It's impressive.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate
I
it.
got last one for me.
Yeah.
You know, point guard, like you hear, kind of the prototypical pass first point guard. That seems like, I guess, a bit of an endangered species in the league. How have you seen the point guard position evolve, even just in your time in the league? The more, you know, it's like
Yeah.
a score first. You see a lot of score first point guards.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the generation that I've grown up in, and the generation before. There was a span between 2006 and 2011 where point guards actually had a chance to go #1 in the draft, and they met the qualifications by being able to do all things defensively, assist, may score a lot of points, but a lot of the point guards that were coming in weren't great shooters, and
Yeah.
there were a few that were a diamond in the rough that were able to be successful because they had a quality jump shot, a consistent jump shot. I was one of them. I shot high clip. Dame was one of them. Steph was one of them. And it's not a knock on any of the other point guards. D Rose, John, they had to develop that over time. And once Derek developed it, it was like next level. You just knew once he was getting it going from the three-point line, it's a wrap for you. And I've been able to steal some of their moves, steal some of their pace possessions where I've watched them for so long and realize how important it is to diversify your game. You got to be a great scorer in this league. You got to get high assist, or you just have to be willing to play a position next to somebody that's doing that and add on. So be a great addition. You know, I feel like that's the true testament of great players, and the point guards now is that you have to be able to play multiple roles. You have to be able to play 1, 2, 3. You got to be able to guard 1, 2, 3, and you got to be able to hold your own in the post against taller defenders, more athletic guys, more skilled guys that are coming into our league, guys that, you know, are younger, but they're coming in more prepared and they're coming in more athletic. So I think that's the adjustment where they're skying through the sky, you know, athletically, the young guys now. But in my generation, it was like, yo, let's get the quality of possessions where we can run a play, but also can we run you off a screen? Can you double down? That dynamic right there, that diversity shows the greatness of the point guard role. And the evolution now is you got guys that are 6'9" playing point guard now.
Yeah.
You know, 6'11" now bringing the ball up, and now they're initiating the offense. So it's positionless, almost. You know, it's getting to that point now.